Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Ultrakill Comic Studio for some sort of the last year because I eventually turning on the dark mode as we're searching here for crossovers. Even the current characters like those things couldn't be for that showing up for some spoilers, and we turning the dark mode off. Let's search for Ultrakill. One thing is going to be for one here. The Ultra Kill isn't going to be for around here for somewhere as well. If I'm just going to be saying for the K word, which means there must be not here, not here, but there is, could be the unofficial Ultra Kill Comic Studio that characters, it's made anything here, and it was created by RC Hakita, Patala and New Blood Interactive, like anything as well for some sort of a private company as well. So let's see who's gonna be behind as well for somewhere as well. As we're looking to this could be the new Ultrakill Comic Studio, and we're going to be checking this out for this full review for this time as well and see what it was. So now it's time to jump in as well, because as you can tell you that Pride Month is gonna be a little bit for one thing as well, and sometimes that I don't really think that some kind of Pride Month is going on around here. So the Pride Month ends at around for the last couple of days until the end of the month, where that Google is going to be for unsupported warning for Windows 10. And I currently still in Windows 10 anyways. It has full amount of characters that I just gotta be turning on as well. So all the husk machines, demons, angels, and prime souls in hell, because they're subject to change with the fraud's release. There the characters could be from actually to do this as well. This is the minor of the characters as well. And the full characters could be for around for the old enemy designs. Could be like them or not anything about for some other kinds of guys as well. And this is the old things could be something is wicked. And so this is the version 1. We might sing these things as well. This is where my brother played last year, and then he'll never played again and kept on watching it for a little bit of reasons as well until he no longer able to be watching this anymore. And because except you guys, let's just absolutely find over here. It appears this is the first interaction of V series of robots, and that a prototype war machine built for the final war could be actually, it must be for some sort of, there must be plush versions and for some kind of a little bit amount of fan arts as well. The V2 is gotta be the enemy. It was built for war and boosting a new kind, and it was allowed here to do this as well. So this is the V2, and the planned production was cancelled and never able to be developed necessary as well. There must be plush versions. And overall, there's no plush versions like even to do this as well. But this time as well, he got a big large gun until he fall off and defeat. And for some kind of, there must be a little bit amount of fan arts as well. So there must be for some other kinds of games like itself or other kinds of to do this. And enemies are always everywhere and anywhere. Exactly, there must be Mirage, who would be from Project Sky. No. This is not gonna be from Yandere Simulator as well, for some sort of like this. It was owned by some kind of New Blood Studios for some kind of like this. Or some kind of New Blood isn't going to be for around here. It was owned by RC Hakita Plata, or the Patala. And yep, Ultrakill is owned by RC Hakita Patala. Studio background by you random 123 user 123 on Reddit. And probably let's continue to get some more characters like it's absolutely we probably going to find out. I have already said that we turn on the show on spoilers because we're starting up with the filth, and it reached the form of some kind of husk for itself that says in the description, and which means the form of like those disturbing thing could be for like this. And it's absolutely scary as some kind of zombie. The filth zombie could actually might gonna kill you without any hands because they still have feet to use this. Another one is the stray. It is a dark skeleton monster that forms as a dark energy orb to using a soul monster things as well, and some kind of power orbs. It could be absolutely causing damages, a large number of damages to kill you for itself, because sometimes it was more even dangerous as well. You might easily kill them for using for some kind of like to do this as well for the V series for like the final war as well, even for the status as well for some kind of like these things as well to kill this thing. And the next one is for the schism, which is a so-called machine gun zombie. The machine gun zombies using for their causing the amalgamation of two physical bodies. Like those things, as the machine gun could be even like this. The soldier could be for around here for some kind of this. It must be the Ultrakill soldier was actually for some kind of a gunman work. As for this time, they're going to be for using for to do this as well as for some kind of ultimate machine gun. It was not that even real. Another one it could be for around here for some kind of the corpse of the King Minos. It was big and huge and some kind of a little bit monster as well. And then the stalker that can use boulders, and sometimes they're absolutely so-called another enemies of these times as well. The Sisyphean insecure and honest. It must be for some kind of using a head boulder as a giant man for to do this as well. Another one is the ferryman. It was some kind of small alien, but another one it was some kind of huge as the Bedaran man for some kind of the Avatar reference. The two headed for some kind of like these were some kind of so-called monsters as well. The second boss of some kind of they are red and blue. Another one is the sword machine that you know what as absolutely that I just already seen in the game. They were the boss. And the first bosses could be encountered on the level 2 for the prelude selection, and finally managedly defeated by the level 3 for some kind of like this. And this is the drone is absolutely turned into some kind of missiles, and then for some kind of the street cleaner was absolutely going to be cleaning anyway for it to do this as well. Even that you pretend to be as for some kind of a stormtrooper soldier like this thing as well, or some kind of a bots like some sort of Star Wars reference. Another one is the Mind Flyer. It was a female, of course, and another female is Century. That was a little bit even probably disgusting a little bit for no. I'm not very sure this is actually going to be to do this, but nothing that you better look at it this way, because you shouldn't supposed to be looking for this one that she absolutely using poses of a target, which means you might get to be killing for some sort of like this. This could be for another enemy, not a friend as well. And moving on to the two big guns as the Gutter Man and the Gutter Tank. Starting with the Gutter Man is actually for some sort of look like a fuel resource, and which means it was a big tank unit to kill anything itself or to do this as well. It was the big war machine that turns on for some kind of like this and incredibly charged, and once he was defeated as well. For some kind of stupid, and I'm not very sure this isn't going to be for a little bit for this thing as well that you know what. Another one is the Gutter Tank. It has a one large gun, a one large cannon gun that can assault anything as well for some kind of like this. This is the V2, the most likely important as for some kind of plush versions. There are no plush versions as there are enemies to do this as well. I have already seen this for any moment as well. Another one is the 1000 THR Earth Mover, which we call of ourselves as ginormous as well, as I just going to be look at something even bigger as well to look and seeing this eye, which means that definitely going to kill you for this anytime soon, which means it's big and scary and ridiculous as possible. And the interior inside of some kind of monster could be for the security system and his brain. If you just try to destroy it, that the self-destruct sequence has been activated before it falls down into the depths of hell like anything as well. There are another kinds of sword masters, could be Agony and Tundra. There must be for some another kinds of copycats like those things. It was related to the original sword machines like themselves. Sometimes this is the second boss, could be even the major things, could be like as well. The second major boss is the sword machine. The first boss is the malicious face, could be the most common type of the demon, are incredibly dangerous, especially in swarms due to their masteries of use of hell energy as a weapon. And which is some kind of like that big. And witches could be for like those things. The first boss that appeared that you can easily destroy with your gun, and most likely that wouldn't able to be affected you for using their fist, and it was completely destroyed. Another one is Cerebus. They're extremely aggressive and extremely strong head. When the third boss arrived, was actually even for this, for the protectors of hell, which means you can believe to destroy this thing as well as fast as possible by using their fist and a shotgun and a machine gun. No, I don't really think this isn't going to be even possible to do this as well. This is the hideous masses. This could be the hideous mass, which means it must be for some kind of the final boss. And this is where I have seen this, that the demo ends in the game. I'm probably that we've seen at the end of the demo in the game, and nothing is absolutely happened what to do as well. And sometimes that it turns into a piece of monster. And of course, it shouldn't be absolutely defeated by like this absolutely as well. And sometimes this is actually for the malicious beast as could be as possible. Another one is the idol, and she wouldn't able to be moving as well, but I don't really think it was another type of boss. The fifth boss is the Leviathan, and he lives deep underwater as hell, and full of hell like those things of flesh and other kinds of those things as well. This is the mannequin that pretends to be for like as well. And then it goes to absolutely coming and stalk you down for unknown reasons. Another one is some kind of cow called Minotaur. Could be for like this thing as well. It was sculpted by unknown reference for some kind of like this hell as well. And this must be two Gabriels as well for some kind of like this. This is the judgment of hell, and this is the apotate of hate. Another one is the Viricha, could turn something into ridiculous, some kind of like this. But this is related to Madeline Cookie and Finanza Cookie. But there must be a plush versions like this, could be even for this one as well. And some sort of like they say, it must be for some kind of the god of Madeline Cookie. I'm not very sure it's not going to be the father for himself. This could be for its grandfather or a grandson of Financer Cookie, or I'm not very sure. This is not going to be for exactly what is here. Only single one of them, and turns into a ninja demon machine, a ninja god machine, which means it's actually for that anyways. Another one is the something wicked. It was probably that I never seen this. From more hideous it goes, this is too dangerous to get inside and find its way out of their sight as well. Which means for some kind of the old something like this, it must be Carlos, for something wicked is going on. You can shoot like anything as well as fast as possible, so you might be able to be escaped for ease as well, until this thing jump scared to you in hell. I'm not very sure this isn't going to be real for this itself. It locates in the deepest dark of the hell like this thing as well. Another one is the cancerous rodent. It could be for literally is a rat as well. The very cancerous rodent, which means it's actually going to be moving as well. It must be some kind of an unknown thing. This is going to be related for some kind of things as for anime reference, which means it's related for some kind of anime games whatsoever. Another one is the mysterious druid knight and owl. There's the mirage over here, and there's the big Jonator for like this thing as well. Nothing is absolutely whatever is going on. Another one is the big Jonator. It was a monstrous zombie unit who has a machine gun and lots of grenades on his chest or his vest, like anything as well. He got a ton of ammo, but I cannot believe it must be a Dusk reference. Shouldn't be like this. And this is the puppet, could be absolutely have forms of types. Another one is the flesh prison. The flesh prison is could be for even for this thing as well. I didn't see that in the game, but somebody already saw that in the game as well, which includes is flesh panopticon. Flesh panopticon could be for around for some kind of a little bit big is the House of the Soul King Sisyphus as well. Even for one here for to do this as well. There are two final bosses as well. Is Minas Prime, which means he is not like this. Imagine this, the god of accelerons, and probably could be for as well for some sort of a king of hell. The king of hell is the Sisyphus Prime, which means turned into a beard as a boss, the final boss of the Ultrakill. He was not the final boss. The final bosses could be Satan, or even not, as we never look like to do this as well. The old monsters like this could be some sort of like this as anyways. That must be an old sword machine and some kind of like to do this as well. The old Cerebus as well. And sometimes is the old malicious face. There must be old stray and old filth. The fun fact, their old stay models are actually does appear in the game, specify in 1 to 2 right before anything catches on fire. Thankfully, that was everything for this entire characters like anything as well. And for some kind of like those things could be, there are so many items whatsoever.